You do not send slow, boxy infantry tanks into the open desert and expect them to survive. For decades, that rule sits unchallenged in military doctrine. Speed saves you. Maneuver saves you. Armor alone gets you encircled, disabled, and burned out under the sun. Every expert agrees. Every general nods along. In North Africa, where distances stretch for miles and the horizon never ends, the desert punishes anything that cannot run. The Italians believe this rule more than anyone. Their commanders repeat it like scripture. Their gunners train for it. Their confidence rests on it. Because no tank, no matter how thick its steel, can simply roll forward and absorb everything an army throws at it. And then, in 1940, a tank the British themselves quietly write off as obsolete, over-armored, and painfully slow, breaks that rule so completely that an entire Italian army collapses in its path. Its name is Matilda, and the man who decides to bet everything on it is Richard O'Connor. You meet Richard O'Connor in the desert, not behind a desk. He is 58 years old in 1940, lean, composed, a veteran of the First World War who learned his trade in trenches, not classrooms. He believes in preparation, discipline, and doing the unexpected. He does not raise his voice. He does not posture. When others debate, he decides. Britain's position in North Africa is desperate. Italy has entered the war on Germany's side, and from Libya, Italian forces surge east into Egypt. On paper, they outnumber the British nearly 5-1. 10 divisions, hundreds of tanks, thousands of guns. The British Western Desert Force can barely scrape together 36,000 men. The Italians dig in along a string of fortified camps, Nibewa, Tummer, Sidi Barani, confident behind wire, trenches, concrete, and artillery. Their commanders believe they have time. They believe the British cannot attack in strength. They believe the desert itself protects them. O'Connor sees something else. He sees complacency. And he sees a tank no one respects anymore. The Matilda II is slow. Top speed, 15 miles per hour on good ground. In the desert, less. Its gun is modest. A 2-pounder firing solid shot without high explosive. No glamour. No speed. But its armor is a different story. Up to 78 millimeters thick on the front. Thick enough that Italian anti-tank guns, mostly 37 millimeters and 47 millimeters pieces, simply cannot penetrate it at normal combat ranges. O'Connor understands what that means. If the Italians cannot stop it, then nothing else matters. December 1940 arrives. Operation Compass begins as a 5-day raid. O'Connor intends to turn it into a rout. You advance before dawn. The desert air cuts cold against steel. Engines rumble low, disciplined, steady. 58 Matilda II tanks form the armored spearhead, their silhouettes barely visible against the sand. Infantry follow behind, clinging to the promise that this steel wall might actually protect them. Ahead lies Nibewa, the strongest Italian camp in the sector. At 0700 hours, the attack begins. Italian sentries spot movement. Flares rise. Bugles sound. Guns traverse. Then the first Italian anti-tank round slams into a Matilda. It hits. It sparks. And it bounces. Another round strikes. Then another. Sharp metallic cracks echo across the desert. The Matilda keeps moving. You feel the impacts through the hull, dull, heavy punches, but no penetration. No spalling. No fire. The crew inside realizes something extraordinary is happening. They are invulnerable. Italian gunners panic. They fire faster. Barrels overheat. Crews shout ranges. 800 yards. 700. 600. Nothing works. The Matildas close the distance, crushing wire, rolling over trenches. Their guns fire point blank into bunkers. Solid shot punches through concrete, through gun shields, through men. Italian artillery tries high explosive. It detonates harmlessly against the armor. The camp collapses in hours. By noon, Nibewa is gone. 4,000 Italians surrender. And the Matildas have barely a scratch. O'Connor does not pause. He turns north. At Tummer East and Tummer West, Italian commanders now know something is wrong. Reports flood in, tanks that cannot be stopped, guns that do nothing, shells that bounce like pebbles. They still believe mass will save them. It doesn't. The Matildas advance again. Italian tanks, M11/39S and M13/40S, roll forward to engage. Their guns fire. The shots spark and ricochet. British crews answer calmly, methodically. At 300 yards, a 2-pounder round punches through an Italian turret. At 200 yards, another tank erupts in flame. The Italians break. By December 10th, Sidi Barani falls. 40,000 prisoners. Hundreds of guns captured. The Matilda has done the impossible. And O'Connor presses harder. Bardia. January 1941. This is no camp. This is a fortress town. Concrete, wire, overlapping fields of fire. 20,000 Italian troops inside. They expect a siege. Instead, Matildas smash straight through the perimeter. Italian officers stand frozen as shells bounce uselessly off British armor. One Italian report later describes it as fighting an enemy immune to weapons. At Bardia alone, 25,000 Italians surrender. The British lose fewer than 500 men. Now the Italians are running. Tobruk, Derna, Benghazi. Everywhere the Matilda appears, resistance collapses. Italian gunners abandon their pieces. Infantry throw down rifles. Entire divisions dissolve in the face of a tank they cannot hurt. At one point, an Italian unit fires over 100 rounds at a single Matilda. Not one penetrates. By February 1941, O'Connor's force has advanced over 500 miles. The numbers are staggering. 130,000 Italian prisoners. 400 tanks destroyed or captured. Over 800 guns lost. For the loss of fewer than 2,000 British casualties. The Matilda, slow and worthless by pre-war standards, has crushed an army. And right here, after the truth is undeniable, after the impossible has already happened. But victory carries its own danger. Because now everyone is watching. What the Italians don't know is that their defeat echoes far beyond the desert. In Berlin, German intelligence studies the reports in disbelief. Tanks immune to fire. Entire formations collapsing. Hitler does not laugh this off. He reacts. Within weeks, German forces deployed to North Africa under a new commander. Erwin Rommel arrives with the Afrika Corps. And Rommel brings weapons designed for the Matilda. The 88mm gun, originally an anti-aircraft weapon, now points horizontally across the sand. When it fires, Matilda armor finally fails. The age of invulnerability ends. But the damage is done. Italy never recovers from Compass. Its North African army is shattered beyond repair. German intervention becomes mandatory, not optional. The Matilda forces a strategic escalation. It changes the war in the desert. And it teaches every army watching a brutal lesson. Armor matters. Until it doesn't. Richard O'Connor does not celebrate. He continues fighting. Months later, in a cruel twist, he is captured during a night reconnaissance patrol. He spends over 2 years as a prisoner of war before escaping in 1943. The Matilda II fades quietly from the front lines, outpaced by faster tanks, outgunned by newer weapons. It never gets a victory parade, but its legacy endures. For a brief, devastating moment, it rewrites the rules of war. It proves that arrogance kills, that doctrine can lie, and that sometimes, the weapon everyone dismisses becomes the one that changes everything. If this story moved you, please hit that like button. Every click tells the algorithm this piece of history is worth remembering. We're dedicated to rescuing these forgotten stories from the archives. If you want to join us on this mission, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Where are you watching from? Drop a comment with your city or country and tell us if someone in your family served. Thank you for ensuring that Richard O'Connor and the tens of thousands who faced the Matilda in the desert do not disappear into silence. They deserve to be remembered.